Something happens whenever I see you. I don't know what it is, but when I look in the mirror, something's changed. I can see a new expression on my face. I can feel a strange sensation taking place. I can hear the guitar play a lovely tune. I do. Every time that you walk in the room.
We're in competition with Led Zeppelin, Paul McCartney, anybody. Any rock band, anybody that puts out records. Any entertainer.
The Teddy Boys are just one of the ever-growing number of Canadian rock bands playing the bar circuit in and around the Toronto area, all vying for a slice of the record industry pie and the fame and fortune that can go with it. Unlike many of their counterparts, however, the Teddy Boys seem to have a firm grip on their future and are on the verge of making the jump up from the dull, draining routine of endless one-night stands to signing a recording deal with a major American label, a deal they hope will move them further in the direction of their ultimate goals.
Become rich. Become the first huge Canadian international successful act. The band started in Winnipeg a few years ago. They started off the way most other bands do, you know, playing a lot of stuff off the radio, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, all that kind of stuff. And then they made the move to the bright lights of Toronto about a year and a half ago, and we're based in Toronto now.
George is lead singer, George Marion. Jules Version, me on drums.
Stephen Hollywood is a guitar player and a singer. J.P. Asgerson is another guitar player, singer. And my name's Steve Ostick, and I'm the bass player. And Galosh Man Extraordinaire.
I would describe our music as pop rock, pop new wave rock.
I don't think there's one particular influence. We'll have common people that we all like we all like the Beatles and that. But I think if you listen to our material, you can say, well, this sounds like let's say Beatle harmonies, and this sounds like a Dave Clark 5 instrumental sound or something. I think we tend to sound like we're influenced by different people depending on which one of our songs we're playing. We're about 85% original. The stuff that isn't original fits pretty well into our repertoire. We pound it into shape. Geordie, the lead vocalist, and the two guitar players write almost all of the material. In various combinations, each guy has written some tunes on his own, and then you have various collaborations. Most people aren't aware that it's original material, and we get asked a lot who wrote a lot of our songs. You know, they're very surprised when we tell them it's our own.
You have to start by doing cover tunes and playing bars and getting rotten pay and establishing a following, and then slowly putting your own material in.
Much of the Teddy Boys' success to this point must be attributed to the hard work of Terry McKeown, who, along with his partner John Alexander, provides the band's management.
I've been in the music business about 13 years. I was a performer myself for about a dozen years, and I've been in management for the last year. I have a partner. He was also a performer. And we saw the Teddy Boys one night in a bar and decided that it was the best band we'd seen in the country and that we'd like to get involved with their business. We decided when we undertook the management of the band that had we been properly managed when we were performers, we would have wanted someone to dedicate their full attention to us until such time as our careers were going in a very strong way. And I think it's really necessary to properly do the job. It takes two of us a full day every day to properly manage this band, and anybody who's giving less attention than that to a new act like the Teddy Boys is not doing their job properly. We have a very close relationship with our band, I think much more so than most managers do with their acts, because we can relate to them on their level. We've been through everything they're going through. We manage them the way we would have wanted to be managed, and I think that's a great advantage for them and for us. It helps us get along a lot better. They have more respect for us than they would for a couple of businessmen who didn't know anything about their situation. And having been musicians ourselves, we're a lot more involved in the artistic areas than most managers. I help the band write, arrange, and produce the material in the studio. And we generally get much more involved in all areas of the band's performance than the average manager does. If you had to define the function of a manager, it would be to do the things that are necessary to make each year in the band's career a little more successful, with a long-range goal of being at the top of their field. And everything that is involved in that, from making sure that the equipment is working and that the road crew is at the gig on time, to arranging for a record contract.
We would like the band to appeal to everybody, but the type of people it does appeal to is well, it's hard to say because we're always playing in the bars most of the time, right? And the people that go into bars are what, 18, 19, 20?
We've been surprised a few times, though, when it's happened that you find yourself being booked in a situation that you wouldn't normally expect. Like once when we were in Kingston, we got booked into a club, and one night we had to share the stage with a male stripper. So the club, of course, was packed full of women, many of whom were like over 30 years old. And so I thought it was going to be a disaster, but we appealed to those ladies, and sometimes we'll find an audience where there are a lot of older men and women or older couples or something, and we appeal to them. It seems we appeal to just about anybody.
They're really good. They're going to make it big.
Great band. They got a lot of good originals.
I love them. Oh, tonight they sound pretty good. I'm impressed.
They got something different anyway. I like the bass player. I like that move where he does with his guitar. I know you can't get this on tape, but you know, it's neat.
They all think the same way. They all are very together.
It's different and it's new and it's what we need. We're coming back tomorrow night.
I had a good time. I've been down here last 3 nights and I've always had a good time.
Excellent.
Marvelous.
They forgot an English bike riding through the crowd.
Are they playing tomorrow? Are they playing with an English bike on the stage tomorrow?
We play all year except for about a month. And all the rest of the time we're playing.
We love performing. This band lives to perform, for sure. But I think we're reaching the stage now where we've been playing in bars for so long that we're dying to be catapulted up into the next step.
Trying to get up for every night and playing like one-nighters if we get them, or playing in the bar every night. Sometimes it's really hard to get up, but what makes us work hard and play well is the people in the audience. If the people in the audience are having a good time and they show it, then we play good. And if not, we just have to try and play good.
When people are listening to a good song on the radio, it makes no difference what you're like on stage. But when people come out and see you, it doesn't matter what your songs sound like on the radio. You know, the two go hand in hand, and they're both equally as important at different times. People tell us that we look very energetic on stage. People can tell that we really work hard on stage. When we're on the road, we drag ourselves out of bed at 9 o'clock in the morning a lot of the time to rehearse, work over new material. The guys are writing songs in the daytime when we're on the road very often. Just we find the time, we make ourselves have the time.
All of it's hard work. You don't really have to have talent to make it. You just got to have the right combination of things at the right place at the right time, and you have to do the right thing at the right time. And if you happen to be talented, well, more power to you, you know.
That's one of the most frustrating things about the music business, is that hard work doesn't guarantee you anything. You can work like hell for years, and that doesn't mean anything. Hopefully, it means that the harder you work, the luckier you'll get. But you get people like Bob Seger that become overnight stars after 11 years. We haven't signed a deal yet. Over the last few months, we've been in negotiations with various American record companies. We hope to be signing one within the next couple of months. It's something you've got to really be careful about. You don't grab the first thing that comes along.
If this band or any other band around is trying to make it, the place to go do it is the States. That's where the heart of the business is, down in Los Angeles and New York. And in order to make it any kind of stardom, you have to go there to make the big deal.
We went down to Los Angeles and Hollywood in the first week in October, and that was basically for the purpose of playing for American record companies, showcasing the band. We played for about 15 different American record companies down there, and we played a couple of live jobs too in a club called the Starwood, which is just about the hottest club for new talent to play in Hollywood. And that was great. The response we got, not only from the people, but from the people that counted at the American companies, it quite overwhelmed us.
It's not too difficult in Canada when you've got a good band, because there just aren't that many of them. But as the boys were saying, the Canadian music business is not thought of very highly in the rest of the world, just because it's a very small market. It's a problem in dealing with the American companies to have a Canadian act, simply because they assume that anybody who's any good in the music business is either in New York or in Los Angeles. That's why we had to take the band down to L.A. in the fall to be seen. It was just impossible for us to convince the heads of A&R for 14 record companies in Los Angeles to come to Toronto or anywhere else in Canada. They don't see why they should. So you have to go to them. And that's a problem. It's very expensive. We will be doing an album before the end of March, one way or another, with one company or another. It just hasn't been decided who it's going to be yet. We may do it in Los Angeles and we may do it in Toronto, but I hope to have an album out by early May. And from there, it's just a question of how the band develops artistically and how whether the record company does its job and we do our job, whether the band succeeds or not.
We want to be the type of band that sort of sets the styles. I think we must have a style of our own. We have to by now. We've been playing so long. But what we want to do is change with the times and change styles so that maybe we'll set the styles.
Well, we're only in it for the money. If there wasn't money in it, we wouldn't do it.
We want to get a giant recording contract, write giant hits, and have giant dollars in our pocket. That's exactly what we want. What else is there?
I think anybody that would give any different answer than that is kidding themselves, because of everything that's involved in the music business, you wouldn't put up with it if you had any goal apart from to be rich.
This all began for better or worse. Instantly I knew that you were a curse. Instead of someone who was lighting my life, you were the one who was twisting the knife. I saw a vision through my bedroom window, my destiny flared up on the screen. A mannequin in your window display. I've been a puppet, but it's time you knew. Guess what? I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I like the things that you do. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I like the things that you do. I like the things that you do. I like the things that you do. I like the things that you do.